Boom. This is Ketone IQ. This is all the wave right now. It's the hot shit. It's what everyone is talking about. Made by marathon runners, adopted by the military, and now available to the public, which is you and I. So I tried this product for a week because, as you guys requested, you wanted my breakdown. So here it is.
Ketone.
So first, before the review, what is Ketone IQ? This sounds like ketosis, right? Well, you're onto it. Yes, the words do have meaning, like often happens. So, when you are in a ketogenic diet, you go into ketosis. Now, when in ketosis, your brain is converting fatty acids to ketones. Now, why is this important? Because usually your brain's main source of fuel is glucose. But when you do not have carbohydrates in your body, well, your brain goes, what the fuck? What am I supposed to use? I don't understand. But actually it does understand because it goes another route and it's very, very smart and naturally inclined to help you survive. So it takes all the fatty acids you've got and it converts it into ketones, which is another source of brain fuel. So this right here is brain fuel, and potent at that, I will say. So essentially, this is an energy shot. It gives your brain something to run off of, and after a week, the results are in. Pleasantly surprised. Now, I keep hearing people talk about this. I've heard Diary of a CEO constantly talking about it. Says he takes one every single day.
And as is always the case, when I fall in love with a product, I called the CEO and asked if I could invest a couple of million quid into their company.
Stephen Bartlett, that is. And I had to try it. And so when I went to pick these up, I picked them up at a sports basement. The guy at the counter I was already buying them, and he was practically selling me on them. I wasn't sure if maybe he got commission or something, but he was like pushing them. Like, okay, again, reassuring. Someone is claiming that they're wonderful, incredible, great. Cool. I like that. Says he used it for a marathon, had wonderful focus, endurance, intense, crazy results. Cool. Next, he said he used it for pickleball mixed with a Modelo. And that's every single shot, every single swing was exact placement, and he was dialed in and focused. Now, I don't think that was the Modelo. Some might argue. I don't know. As someone who hasn't drank in a long time, I'm kind of forgetting what alcohol feels like, which is cool. But on that note, on first consumption, what everyone says about the taste of these is accurate. They taste like shit. They taste like shit. Now, after the first 2, maybe 3, it's whatever. First couple, yeah, they taste like shit. They're bitter. The peach one, again, everyone says the peach helps with the flavor. They are correct. The peach helps with the flavor. It's not that bad. Tastes like shit, not that bad. And so there are some health products that they taste like shit, but when you eat them or drink them, you're like, yeah, it tastes bad, but like, it's good for me. I can kind of tell. This is not that. This tastes like maybe I shouldn't be putting this in my body. You know how there's some things like that? Many things like that? Yeah. And in a day and age where we're able to make just about anything taste good, even if it's poison, it's somewhat interesting that these still taste like shit. But hey, one day they won't, I'm sure. But on to effects, okay? This is, of course, what everyone wants to hear about. How effective was it? And let me tell you, I don't even know where to begin. Wow. I didn't bring my notes with me, but I used these throughout the work week, and energy was drastically improved. And to be fair and transparent, I was highly caffeinated, but I'm usually highly caffeinated, which is why I usually talk fast when I'm talking to you guys. But my energy was on point. It was incredible. And it was consistent, right? With caffeine, high caffeine doses, there's this like constant need for just re-upping it until you get a crash and then you're done for the day and then you sleep and you wake up and you do it again. With these, it was just straight baseline energy consistent. Now, the energy was different than caffeine for sure, because the energy was in a form that had some sort of clarity. And this is where the brain fuel, I think, begins to tie into itself. My brain felt sharp, so I had energy while my brain felt like it was making decisions at a higher rate. And so because of this, not only was I executing and making decisions properly, but my communication was very obviously better. And I think this is because, well, this is no actual study, this is just pure speculation. I think that because of the decision-making window getting smaller and being able to decide like that when communicating, there's less time for overthinking, and words just begin to flow and happen. And I genuinely saw actual progress and benefits at work as someone who has to deal with people and tell people what to do and talk to clients and vendors and all sorts of people that I am dealing with all day. The decision making drastically helped because there was no window of, I wouldn't call it anxiety, but questioning of my decision and what I was going for. It was just execution, do it like that, we're running it, and it ended up perfect every single time. And so I began to get concerned because, well, I don't want to have to take something every day. Obviously, I wouldn't have to, but it was good enough to where I started thinking, this is going to have to become a regular thing. But throughout the week, I do think that maybe I built up some sort of tolerance because the past 2 days, maybe 3, 2. So that would be after the 5th day, I didn't feel the effects quite as much. And maybe that's related to certain dietary choices or whatnot. I don't know. But I began to feel them less. And on a side note, if you are buying them, you notice this is the no caffeine version. If you buy the caffeinated version, they're very nice. Got 100 milligrams of caffeine. Drink it down. Boom, you got 100 milligrams of caffeine. But the non-caffeinated version has 10 grams of ketones. The caffeinated version has 5 grams. And so in terms of cost and quality, like for myself, I am still going to drink caffeine. Caffeine is pretty dirt cheap, and these aren't as much. Like usually you can find them for $5 if you are buying them somewhere. At Sports Basement, I get a slight discount as a member. I can buy 10 of these and get a 10% discount. Then that's still expensive, right? That's $45 for 10. That's $135 a month if you're drinking one a day in a 30-day month. So I don't want to be consuming these every day. So I will for sure be taking a break after this to not feel like I had to depend on them. But if you can afford it, I would think send it, go for it all day, every day. Now, of course, with anything, we don't have research over the course of years to see if there's any negative side effects or adverse effects, but knowing that it is something your body produces on its own, these are derived through a decent fermentation process that is not nearly as skeptical or harmful as most of the medications that people take every single day. They're derived from petroleum gases. I feel relatively good about it. So overall, energizing effects on point. Mental clarity on point. Drastic change in decision making that has massively helped me because I've been going through a period where I felt crazy brain fog. So having this with the mental clarity, the decision making was something that I needed a lot right now because it gave me a boost. It told me, okay, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to help. And sometimes it's just that little bit that we need to set us on the right path. And once we kickstart it, we start to begin to compound positive results. And that's what we're doing here. So Ketone IQ, 7.5 out of 10, 7.5. An 8 would be a very, very high score. So be clear, 7.5 is solid. It's incredibly solid. And I would say that what weighs it down right now is the price point. Ketone IQ, if you can get a lower price point to more people, you'll be doing the world a service, and you should, because more people will consume them. But as always, you guys asked, and I brought you this review. So if there's anything else, please let me know. What do you want me to review? I will try it. You know the rules. Got to try it for at least a week. Depending on the product, might have to be a month, but I'll get it to you guys. You just let me know down below what you want to hear. Ketone IQ, 7.5 out of 10. I'll see you guys all in the next one.